Hello, viewers. Today we have with us Mr. Krishna S Gupta. He's the founder of the Masala Box Company, right?
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Okay. Well, welcome, Mr. Gupta. Gupta, tell us about, first of all, the name of your company.
So we like food, and whenever we think of food, we go and we like something. We go yum. It's really yum. It's delicious. And sometimes when we like it a little too much, we go We think about it, and that is why we said let's just keep it something which is keeps it has that we remembrance effect in everyone's mind. So that's where the Masala Box Company came into picture. And then spices
Okay.
are an integral part of every cooking. Doesn't matter what cuisine it is. So that is something, and we love food at home. We just adore it. We live to eat only, and that is why
Okay.
we decided let's start with the most basic item, which gives flavor to any dish, however
Okay.
little, be it a simple salt or be it any sort of more complex spices or blends. And we started as a vertical, and we started since we were growing mustard for years. We decided let us get into commercializing that mustard because the people were liking the oil. We were giving it to friends and family for years for their home consumption. Never ever took any money, just out of that we've harvested sarson and used to give it. So we did
Okay.
black mustard, we did yellow mustard, and it just was nice to see in COVID
Okay.
that people were really liking it. So we just tested the markets amongst more knowns and referrals to see how would they react to the oil, and after that we just went and started the company.
Okay.
So my
So
wife,
now that you're
she's a
now that you're talking about, like, you were into agriculture and all that, tell us a little about that. Where's your farm?
so
How is that?
So our farm is in Vrindavan. It's just at one end of Vrindavan. So we
Okay.
started in a small area, and then about 15, 16 years ago, we started, and it suddenly started growing more and more. We purchased more land. We started growing good crop, and it was basically whatever oil was taken out was used in the gnomes at home, and the rest the sarso was sold in the mandis. We never really did
So
anything, and the
so
idea.
this was your father's land. Farming was started by your father.
No, I mean it was just done because we've bought farmland. So let's
Acha.
do something, keep it fertile, keep
Okay.
it in use. Because if it's lying
Okay.
empty, we've also seen kids playing cricket, misusing it, and might as well. So we have a whole infrastructure set up for the farming,
Okay.
and it's very sort of nice. It's clean. We grow the sarson naturally. We
15,
enjoy
16 years,
I
you
mean,
said. 15, 16
over
years, you
15,
said.
16 years. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
And
how
it
old were
never
you
really,
then?
ma'am, I was about maybe about 14, 15
School?
years old.
In school.
Yes, yes, ma'am, in
Okay.
school.
Okay. So tell
So,
us about your educational background.
so I'm graduated from Vasant Valley here in Delhi, and then I studied sustainability and economics in the US at Emory University in Atlanta.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I came back in 2014 and was working in a food tech startup based in Delhi itself. Worked with my mother, who's got a travel company. Then after that, and later on, I shifted and got into working under my grandfather, and I was under him for about 2, 3 years, and after that he passed, and after that I sort of took over what he was doing. It was just in
Okay.
COVID that we realized that we have been eating so unhealthy. We've been ordering junk from outside because we don't know what gets put in the food when we order. I mean, I will go call order from any place on Zomato. I really don't know what are they putting in the food. But what if I
Yeah.
cook the same thing? I know it's not going to be restaurant quality. Of course, they put
Mm.
certain things like MSG to enhance the taste, be it the simple Chinese.
Mm.
I mean, we
Mm.
decided let us also replicate. We grill or put it on the tandoor, simple things. We blended masalas, just sort of liked
So
using
that
it.
means this business, the farming was basically your grandfather was taking care of it
I
before you
mean, it was
decided
more on
to.
autopilot. Yes, it was very much on autopilot because it was
Acha.
not something which is rocket science. It was very simple. The infrastructure, since there's knowns in place, they are taking care by being
Hmm.
there. Obviously, in school, I know I have been to Vrindavan. We spent
Hmm.
nights in Vrindavan with my
Hmm.
grandparents, my sister, and I
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
know all at least a little bit, because at that time these things just sort of owe us and all. But after that, I mean, I only took an interest once I came back from the US, maybe when I started
Okay.
working under him. But otherwise, the consumption of the oil at home was there. I mean, I really didn't pay any heed to it. I know the
It was
quality was good.
only used for consumption at home or perhaps among relatives and friends, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So it was around 2020 that you thought of turning it into a business, a proper
Yes. So in
business.
2020, through we just sort of through my mother's, we launched a small sub brand to see for few months. We did some cooking at home, called some because we are primarily from a old Delhi family. So we have the contacts, we have the place in Old Delhi. So we got some chefs, rather cooks from Old Delhi. They cooked at home. We did supply a lot in COVID. We um, dried a lot of fresh herbs, a lot of blending we did at home to just cater to knowns. We sold everything little at from the house, of course. And it in COVID, I mean, we did see it was giving a very good response because we were pushing it
Okay.
and people were liking the food, and there were lots and lots of repeats.
Okay.
So then
Okay.
in 21, in order to formalize everything and have every sort of checks and balances in place to keep everything in a manner that we have to work in the purview of the system. So that is when we sort of got this brand in motion.
Okay. So tell me, how did you go about it?
So, I mean, it took us some time in finding. We used certain contacts which were in, which we had tested in 2020 through this sub brand to see how it is. And we used a lot of contacts from them. Since we started at Earth Collective as well, we got in touch with a lot of people who were part of the Earth Collective, be it the
So tell
team,
me,
be it.
yeah, tell us something about Earth Collect. Now that you're taking that name, tell us about it. How did you get in
So,
touch with them?
by chance, we were told about it, and Minu Auntie is very well known. So we got in touch with her. She made us change a lot of our packaging. She made us sort of
Okay.
spruce up our products and made it more sort of compliant to what her sort of ethos is and her principles of the market are. So I mean, a lot of that basic, at least the structuring of the products, how to have the packaging, because I know plastic is it's not worth it. It's not in a manner because it doesn't go with even what I've studied in college. But we would rather switch from plastic to glass, be it for our oils, or we
Okay.
use craft paper pouches and 60-gram glass jars for our spice blends, and they do very well because it's easy to use, it's easy to carry, and for all the glassware that we use is all, you just clean it once you're done with the product. You clean it and you use it for whatever you want, because the glass we're using is of a better quality. We've invested in better packaging and more
Okay.
sustainable packaging because we know that glass is something that is always used in any house. Even I've seen all sorts of jars and bottles lying in my house from God knows when. Till the glass doesn't break, it's used in the
Mm.
house or stored. And kuch namkeen aa gaya bahar se in plastic, we empty it in the glass jar, use it. So I mean, it's more presentable. It's a better thing because I know things in plastic over time, it's not good for health.
Yeah.
So that is why we
So,
focused on G.
yeah, tell me, go ahead.
So we focused on packaging where the product does not go bad, where it does not in any way become harmful to you when you're consuming it within say a few days or few months, depending on of course the expiry.
So, when was your first show participation with the Earth Collective?
So we had
That
done
was
that
like,
in October 21. So I think we took a
okay.
year to formalize everything and keep everything in place. And then in 21 we did Earth Collective, but we started in August 21, where we were catering to 2-3 startups. We were pushing the oil in our brand, and pushing some spice blends for and spices in known houses, trying to get referrals, trying to increase the demand, trying to create awareness of that these are the products we're doing. So certain recipes, for example, that I know is a garam masala, is a 100-year-old recipe. I have a pains and aches oil, which my grandmother uses to date. I don't know how many people in the family in the older generations have used it. My wife, I know, has used it in a pregnancy, and
Okay.
it removes. I mean, this is old recipes that we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We would rather keep and preserve them. Even I know I should not make any alterations in them. I understand going with the times, but these products sell because they are known for having being made with the same old manner in the whole same old recipes, because we those were made with how hand pounding. We would want to stick to the hand pounding, the but that pounder which we have for making certain I don't know how old that is. It's just ridiculous. I think it's very old. I think over 100 years old, and it's still touchwood in check. So trying
Okay.
to
So,
keep it clean. Ji.
okay. So you don't use machines and all while making your masalas.
So now we have started using machines, but
Okay.
so we keep two variants of the masalas. The ones which we are keeping at all these natural and organic stores is more of, I mean, we've of the better organic or naturally grown spices, and the ones that we give in bulk to a lot of brands now is again all natural or organically grown, but it's maybe one notch level quality level lower. I mean,
Okay.
in taste, there's not much of a difference. If you can taste it, no one can really. Only one, if it's an expert, they may be able to say that it is maybe bare minimum
Slightly
difference.
different.
But again, we believe in that freshness. So anything that is old, I mean, I don't like it. I rather dispose it off than keep it or sell it, because that's something that's not the idea of the brand. The idea is freshness, our idea is quality. So we give better quality and we give great quality. We don't give good quality, we don't give mediocre quality. We can't do that because it's not something that we are. We
Okay. So
want
how
food,
was
we like food.
how
So
was
we
the
focus
response
on
to the
giving
first?
quality.
Okay.
So
So
it
how was
was it
the
was
first?
very it was very slow, but we were trying to create. Our main idea was creating awareness that we are. So I mean, we had a small sale, but the idea, even I know the consist. There is in these markets, at least in Earth Collective, we are with Earth Collective since 21 mid 21, and we have seen consistent because of being that consistency. The first few times we were told by Minu auntie very categorically, people are getting to know you, they will take time, don't expect a sale in the first. We had a few sales. It felt really nice that we've been able to sell our products. It was very, very, I mean, we felt very happy. But, and with time, we saw that the sale was better and better. We got into relationships with people, with other brand owners, all very, very, I mean, the idea was to work as a family. So, I mean, that's what I've seen with Earth Collective. I mean, I give a lot of thanks to Earth Collective to have actually built a lot of us sort of back end or branding, because in in Earth Collective everyone helps each other out. That is what I have
Okay.
seen. If I am helping you
Okay.
out, you are going to help, or you will help me out, if not today or tomorrow. I mean, we've realized it's one big fat family.
So you began with the mustard oil, and how many products do you have at the moment?
So right now, I think we have over 30 SKUs. We started with only one mustard oil, the black mustard oil. Then after that, moved in for the oils. We then moved into yellow. We moved, and these two, for a year, we just pushed for a year and a half. In the winter, right now, we started a Mamragiri Badam. We've just taken
Okay.
out a coconut oil as well, virgin coconut from. We get the coconuts from Kerala, but that is something we are seeing is really, really good. And I mean, I've seen with all these oils, they work. My wife has massaged her belly and her other massages that she's done in the pregnancy. I've seen first-hand experience to know that. I mean, I didn't know that one had to use so many kinds of oils for massaging. That was something new to me. So that was a different sort of facet. Now I have a little one at home. He's about 4 months. So I mean, his massages is also in so many oils that,
Okay.
I mean,
So
that's
what all
another
oil do you make?
idea.
Apart
So
from
we have
mustard oil, you have coconut oil, and what are the other
almond,
oils that you?
almond.
Okay.
We do a little bit of groundnut as well on request. We do
Okay.
sesame on request as well. But we keep it, I mean, our main forte is mustard, and the others we keep little, and we're slowly getting into coconut. The rest all,
Okay.
almond is a seasonal product. So now we are not going to be touching almond till
Okay.
the next winter, of course. And the others,
Okay.
groundnut and sesame, as and when required.
Okay. Okay. So mustard you grow in your farms. What about the other
Hanji.
items? Where do you procure the other items from?
So the coconut is from Kerala. We have a known farmer, and a lot of the spice, the hari lychee, and all these sort of these spices. He has his farms where he grows. Fortunately, he's
Okay.
very well known, so that relief is there. And we've gone and seen a lot of these places where we procure from the farmer. To know, it brings a lot of comfort to us that we are taking the right product from the right person, and we
Okay.
get it at a slightly better price because been able to build those relationships. And
So
जी.
go ahead.
And these coconuts as well is from the same farmer, because he has had these fields and all. He gives us, we get them, we extract the oil, and and we keep it. We have two variants of coconut. One is the virgin press one, which is, and the second one is more sort of people use it for massages and all. But I've seen virgin presses, people are enjoying it because of
Okay.
its freshness.
Okay. Coconut oil has, see, south in down south, people use coconut oil a lot in their food for
हाँ
eating
जी.
purposes. North में there is not much of that is not much in vogue. Do you think have you seen certain changes in that? Are people taking to coconut for cooking and all?
Not particularly. I've seen coconut is doing very well for massages.
Okay.
Everyone, or I've seen people are consuming coconut oil. There's that bullet coffee which they have 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. So they have a
Okay.
teaspoon of that in with the say with black coffee, and I mean I am particularly I find I'm not it's a I would say it's a more of a acquired taste. It's not my cup of tea. I like
Okay.
sarso. I've seen in COVID the consumption of mustard oil has increased drastically, and that too cold pressed mustard oil and things like groundnut, sesame, and all. The consumption has increased because people are switching, and of course ghee, because people are switching over from all these refined oils to these sort of cleaner, more purer, I would say completely pure oils, because they know in COVID everyone has seen have this 1 point agenda, which is focus on your health. So that is the whole shift. I mean, even I know there are such large brands of oils. I even know in what all carrier oils people do mix in order to reduce the cost. We can't put
Okay.
that in our in any of the oils or even in spices. We can't adulterate it. We can't be putting in rubbish. We can't be putting in some preservatives or coloring just to make it look nice or taste nice. Only one preservative we use is salt. I'm very
Okay.
categorically straight about it to people that we use a preservative. It's salt. It's a natural preservative, and I think it's the best and one of the oldest preservatives that there is.
Okay. So who does the quality control in your masala box?
I I do that. I mean, I've
Okay.
sort of given it. I
Uh-huh.
do random checks at times, of course, to keep it. But I have a lady. She handles the quality control as well. So that is something we. I know, touch wood, everything is going well,
Okay.
and we can't reduce that quality because I know it's not worth it. We focus on health. That's what we sell. That's why our clientele comes back to us, because they like the quality.
So which is your best selling product? I suppose it's mustard oil.
So, yellow mustard is doing phenomenal for us in terms of the oils. Yellow mustard and black mustard, of course, as well as coconut now. But in the spices, it is for vegetarian. It is Mysore masala, which does well, and lal mas. We've seen these two kasundi marinade, which is can also be used as a sauce, which is because it's a dry spice blend. People have gotten a keen liking to it. We took out a hari chutney, which suddenly sort of a lot of people like. So we also do single spices for people. We've kept that as an ancillary business for those who are taking blends. So because I know if I'm taking buying any sort of spices for my house, I will not only take blends, I will have to take spices. Obviously we need to be able to cater those spices, because that's the same thing that we're using in the blend. So how does that matter to us?
So where do you sell? Do you sell retail or online? Do you have a store? How do
So
you sell?
we are listed in a few stores in Delhi NCR, and online is something which is pushing our product, be it on our website or be it through the Instagram or the Facebook. And we do white labeling for small brands, and that really has pushed our growth, because they keep coming to us, and we keep sort of reinventing certain older recipes and trying to change them, make it more newer age, or create that sort of something different. So I mean, we for one brand we took out three Asian blends: a char sui, of Chinese five spice, and yakitori blend. And that was something very different, because these blends generally one does not find in, unless of course it's been made in the respective countries. So I mean, these things. I mean, we decided let's do something different. I mean, I discovered there's something called soya sauce powder. I've never heard of
Okay.
soya sauce powder,
Powder,
and here
yeah.
we have soya sauce powder.
Okay, and that is like people like that, like to buy that.
It's pretty interesting because people like it. It's something different. So that is why
Okay.
people are
Hmm.
wanting to try, and because it's different, that's why it sells.
Okay. So where does the maximum demand comes to you from? Like which parts of the country?
Delhi NCR, I think, because we're
Acha.
living here, it is Delhi NCR as well as Goa and Bombay have given us a lot of uh,
Okay.
interest as well as, of course, the clientele.
Okay. Okay. So are there any? What are your future plans? Where do
I mean, we're
you?
growing, we're scaling up
Huh.
now.
Hmm.
We're growing the company, we're scaling up, we're increasing the investment into the company because it, people are liking the product. We are pushing the product. We're getting into more and more smaller and medium-sized alliances, which people are wanting to experiment with and have already tried it. So we want to cater to those demands.
Nee,
And
I mean,
export is something
acha, go ahead.
and export is something that we're looking into for cold pressed oils as well, because that is something which is not as such a large explored market as regular edible oils is.
Okay, okay. So when you say that you are expanding, are you only talking about expanding the products or also adding to the number of products that you have?
I mean, we're expanding the business, we're adding more products, we're trying to
Okay.
create certain products which are more sort of regional. We're trying to come out with a lot of the regional blends because those are something we know, and we take a lot of guidance from locals in those. For say, if it's lal mas blend which we have, we've seen it has been doing very well. So earlier we thought we'll just use plain simple lal mirch from Patna, what we generally associate lal mirch from Patna. But that is when we got in touch with someone who's based in Bikaner, and he, as well as another counterpart who's based in Jaipur, they helped us increase and improve the recipe, made it more sort of rustic and what you would get sitting over there in Rajasthan, with lots of methani mirch. So it's a little spicy. It's spicy as well as it's a tad bit sweet. It tastes really nice, and that was the idea, to use the local spices from that area,
Okay.
or those in the way that they do it, because we are trying to replicate it. But again, of course, because it's a spice blend, it is very easy to use, and we've seen a lot of students as well as people who do stay outside the country are taking it, because ours is craft paper pouches, which is bare minimum weight to the baggage.
So do you have a like proper dedicated R&D wing that does all sorts of works? How does it work? When you how do you come up to a new like this is what we want to have now, new product?
Ma'am, for new products, first we always try in the house, and we give
Okay.
it into a couple of known houses for them to try. And we also have a few master chefs who fortunately have grown up with them, and they're more like family, so they do give the insight. And then accordingly we keep sort of it takes about 2 to 3 months to easily sort of launch a new spice blend.
Okay.
But when it
So
comes
that
to a cold pressed oil, when it comes to an oil, it's something that we take out, we just test it in a few houses, and within maybe a week, 10 days we can launch it.
okay. Okay. Now that you are like more than almost 2 years into the business, how do you look back? How do you?
It's a good growth we've had. It's from having no idea how to sell, no having bare minimum idea about what these things are that we're doing. I mean, just speaking to people, educating people have made us sort of understand that spices is something we enjoy. Spices is oils, they just go hand in glove. And we just see that our growth from not knowing where we were going, we were just going with the flow, we were just focusing on giving good quality and delivering orders on time, has just sort of, that's what has led to our growth. That is what we are focused, that's what we focused on when we started the brand. That is what we just, only one point agenda is to focus on giving good quality, meeting orders timely, and do not impair, because I've said no to a lot of business then, even I say no to business now, because
Okay.
if I am going to mess around with the quality, I can't. I can't. That is where we draw the line. We always tell anyone, give us, when it's a large order for a B2B, is that we always say, give us at least 2 to 3 days. We can't give you something tomorrow immediately, because sometimes there is always a slight delay in the supply chain, or we maybe should, some circumstance does come, but we always have seen, we've always to date met every order by the next day. And everyone has been, I mean, the client has been happy, be it even one single small order of 100 200 rupees to a larger order of maybe 40 50 kilos.
Okay. Okay. So I suppose you started alone, and how big is your team now?
We It was actually my wife and I who started, and
Okay.
she and I just started the brand. And now she has she's a nutritionist by profession, so she was
Okay.
doing her practice and her clientele, as well as helping me out in this entire journey. And I mean, even now, when, because we have a little one, she is more or less consumed in with him, but whenever she can, she does help out, she does sort of stick to her field of nutrition. And
And what about
I'd
other family
obviously,
members? Are they part of the business?
no, no. I mean, this is just another vertical we've added because
Acha.
of our
Okay.
love, our undying love for having food and good
Okay.
food. I mean, weight is a problem in the house, so we like, because it's all food, food, food. We want food, we like to eat, and we live to eat. So it's not a good idea that I'll be teaching my son this.
Yeah. So when you talk about that, when you say that you talk to people about the quality, and you insist on giving like pure qualities, do
Sorry, ma'am,
do
could you
you?
repeat that?
I said you say that you insist on quality and you also educate people on that, right? So
Ji.
by that, you mean you hold some workshops, or it is just one on one when a customer comes?
So it's a one-on-one when the customer comes, because we do exhibitions aggressively in at say Earth Collective, or we do it in Gurgaon at Handpicked by PC. So I mean, these
Okay.
two places we've seen. That's where we educate, or if we're talking to a client on the phone, or if we're meeting larger clients for orders, then we need to first sort of educate them. And tell them first. I always say, please try a product, and let's connect next week. And next week I come with a confirmed order. I mean, that's how I we have worked, because we only focus on that quality aspect.
Okay, okay. And you are satisfied with the way the business is moving ahead? You not in a hurry to
Yes,
grow like very
ma'am.
big very soon?
I don't believe, because I know the faster the incline, the faster I will fall flat. So that is something, I mean, I've seen grow the business organically, but also keep pushing at it, because this is an FMCG based business, where one, and there's just a lot of competition, but we go with the idea, let's collaborate, let's work together than compete. So that is how we are growing, with this sort of mindset.
Okay. Okay. So any plans to open an exclusive store of yours?
Ma'am, not in the future. It's too much of an expense, and we're not shopkeepers. We can
Okay.
we can put
Normally,
our products.
okay.
We can
Do you
put our
sell on
products in stores.
okay.
Ji.
Do you sell on e-commerce platforms also online?
We so Amazon is something where we are Amazon, and then smaller websites we are also there, like Herbcart, and there are Gharobar. There are 2 3 other sort of smaller websites that we are on, but Amazon is our biggest
Big.
sort
Okay.
of, I would
You
say, the e-com
okay. You have your own
website that we
dedicated
use.
website?
Yes, ma'am.
Your own Masala Box website?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
So right now we are just fixing and rejigging the branding completely for
Okay.
the website, for the social media, Instagram or Facebook, because that is something we know is vital, because I know how many people spend how many hours a day on these platforms. So that is what we are focusing on, sort of making it more up to date, more in the in thing right now.
You don't believe in the physical advertisements, billboards, and all those things. You're
No,
just
ma'am.
focusing on digital digital space.
More on the digital space, ma'am. Physical, not as keen I am. I mean, we did say in Ahar, we did put a small ad for one of these print magazines. I think it was just a sheer waste
Okay.
of money that could have been used elsewhere. I mean, we've had a few bad experiences in the past to have come, that physical is something which is not worked for us.
Okay.
Because our products are a little more expensive, because people say, well, um, compare, say, our oil to any of these larger brands or larger older brands, and they'll say it's the same price, it's so much more expensive and all. We say that's all right, you should take that oil, but if you try our oil, and we'd like you to try our oil, please take one bottle. And sometimes when the client is very insistent, we sort of tell them that we're not interested in giving you or satisfying your ego and all, because our product is our product. And I've just said one line to a lot of clients or end consumers is, please try a product, we'll speak in 1 week. And I mean, he or she is very, very happy about our product. So
Okay.
or they want to say, can we change the packaging to this or something to meet our requirements? And we are very sort of comfortable in saying we can do it. We are not sort of wanting to not work together.
ठीक है. So, as we come to an end of this interview, Krishna, I want you to
Ji.
say something to our viewers about suppose somebody like you're an entrepreneur, so somebody who wants to become an entrepreneur has that vision. So, what is the first step to go about
I
it?
mean, just focus on what you want to do. I mean, the biggest support is and always will be your family. However much they might try and tell you that certain things are moving in this direction, and if you believe it is moving, and if it is conforming to the your view, then keep at it. If they say it's not moving, use that guidance to sort of get more insight as to why they're saying it, because they are there to help you. And that is something, because of listening to our family and listening to every, at least those critical people in our lives, we have just focused in going in an upward trajectory. And that is the only idea. Don't I mean, certain days are bad days where you may not get any sort of orders or calls or anything. Just don't be dissuaded. Use that as an opportunity to work on the back end, or find something, or find more business. That is the simplest thing. Don't waste time.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much for talking to us,
Thank you,
Krishna,
ma'am.
and we wish you all the best for your future, and we wish you add more and more quality products to your list of selling items, and more and more people buy those things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay.